High in the mountains, where the air is crisp and the views are breathtaking, lived a humble farmer and his beloved daughter. They shared a small, modest farmhouse that stood as a testament to their hard work and dedication. Though they were poor in material wealth, their hearts were rich with love and contentment. Each day, they toiled together in the fields, plowing, planting and harvesting crops, their bond growing stronger with every task. The daughter, with her bright smile and cheerful demeanor, brought joy to everyone she met. She had an unwavering belief in the goodness of life, always looking up at the sky with hope and serenity. But one year, the rains did not come. The once lush fields turned dry and withered, and the farmer's heart grew heavy with despair. He sat with his head in his hands, worrying about how he would feed his precious daughter. The weight of his concern was almost unbearable. The daughter, noticing her father's distress, felt a pang of worry herself. She could see the lines of concern etched on his face, yet she remained determined. Despite the adversity, she held on to hope, her spirit unbroken. She looked towards the horizon with unwavering faith, believing that better times were ahead. Her strong belief in a brighter future kept her going, and she knew deep down that things would get better. Days turned into weeks. The land remained dry. The once fertile soil had turned into a barren wasteland, devoid of life. The sun beat down mercilessly, scorching everything in its path. The crops withered away, and the rivers ran dry. The air was thick with dust, and the sky offered no respite. It was a time of despair, a time when hope seemed like a distant memory. The farmer lost all hope. He had tried everything he could think of, but nothing worked. The drought had taken everything from him: his crops, his livestock, his livelihood. He felt like a failure, unable to provide for his family. He spent his days sitting on the porch, staring out at the dry fields, wondering what he had done to deserve this. He stopped going to the fields. What was the point? There was nothing left to save. The tools he once used with pride now lay abandoned, rusting in the sun. He spent his days inside, staring out the window, lost in his thoughts. The silence was deafening, a constant reminder of his failure. What was the use, he thought. Everything was lost. The soil that once brought life now crumbled in his hands. The crops that once fed his family now lay withered and dead. He felt a deep sense of loss, a pain that cut to his very core. He wondered if things would ever get better, or if this was his new reality. His daughter, however, refused to give up. She saw the despair in her father's eyes, but she also saw something else. She saw a glimmer of hope, a spark that refused to be extinguished. She believed that things could get better, that the rain would come. She spent her days in the fields, praying for a miracle. She knew the power of belief. She had seen it work before, and she believed it could work again. She prayed with all her heart, asking for rain, for relief, for a sign that things would get better. She held on to her faith, even when it seemed like there was no reason to. She continued to pray for rain. Every day, she went to the fields, raising her hands to the sky, asking for a miracle. She believed that if she prayed hard enough, if she believed strongly enough, the rain would come. She refused to give up, even when it seemed like all hope was lost. Every day she went to the field. She walked through the dry soil, feeling the earth beneath her feet. She bent down, touching the soil, feeling its dryness, its lifelessness. But she also felt something else. She felt a connection, a bond with the land. She believed that if she kept praying, kept believing, the land would come back to life. She sang to the dry earth. She believed. Her voice carried across the fields, a song of hope, of faith, of belief. She sang with all her heart, believing that her song would bring the rain. She knelt on the ground, her hands on the dry soil, singing her heart out, believing that her song would be heard. One day her father saw her. He watched from a distance, seeing his daughter in the field, praying, singing, believing. He felt a pang of guilt, of shame. He had given up, but she hadn't. She still believed, still had hope. He wondered if he had been wrong to give up, if maybe there was still a chance. "Why do you bother, child?" he asked, his voice filled with despair. "There is no hope." He approached her, standing behind her, watching her pray. He didn't understand why she kept trying, why she kept believing. He had lost all hope, but she hadn't. He wondered if maybe, just maybe, she was right. He asked, his voice filled with despair, "There is no hope." But as he watched her, he felt a glimmer of something he hadn't felt in a long time. He felt a spark of hope, a belief that maybe, just maybe, things could get better. He watched his daughter, and for the first time in a long time he believed. The daughter looked at her father. "We must never lose hope, Papa," she said. "Even in the darkest times, there is always light. We just have to believe." The farmer shook his head. He loved his daughter, but he couldn't see the light. He turned and walked away, his heart heavy. The daughter continued to pray. She knew in her heart that things would change. Her faith gave her strength. She refused to give up. Section 4. Answered Prayers. That night, the wind changed, the sky darkened, the first drops of rain fell. The daughter woke to the sound. Joy filled her heart. She ran to her father. "Papa, wake up!" she cried. "It's raining! Our prayers have been answered!" The farmer couldn't believe his eyes. He stepped outside. The rain was coming down steadily. He felt a surge of hope. His daughter's faith had saved them. Section 5. The Power of Belief. In the quiet corners of our lives, belief often takes root. It starts as a small seed, nurtured by hope and watered by faith. The rain continued for days. The land came alive, new crops sprouted. The once barren fields began to show signs of life, a testament to the resilience of nature and the power of belief. The farmer was filled with gratitude. He had faced many challenges, but his unwavering belief had carried him through. Each new sprout was a symbol of his perseverance. He had learned a valuable lesson. The storms of life may come, but with belief, one can weather any storm. He held the young plant tenderly, knowing it represented more than just a crop. He realized the power of belief. It wasn't just about the crops or the rain. It was about the strength within, the courage to keep going even when the odds were against him. He saw how his daughter's faith had brought them back from the brink. Her unwavering belief had been a beacon of hope, guiding them through the darkest times. He learned that even in the darkest times, hope can flourish. Just as the sun rises after the longest night, belief can bring light to the darkest moments. The farmer and his daughter worked side by side. They rebuilt their lives. Each day was a step forward, a testament to their shared belief and determination. They never forgot the power of faith and hope. Their small harvest was a celebration of their journey, a reminder of what they had overcome. They knew that with belief, anything is possible. As they walked through the lush fields, they carried with them the lessons of the past and the hope for the future.